Hi everyone. Okay, so last day of Macbeth. So we are going to skip to Act 5, Scene 8 because in Act 5, Scene 7, all it is Macbeth going against young Seward, and that is something that we don't need to focus on. So we're going to skip to Act 5, Scene 8, which is the last scene in the play. And Macbeth, this is the big fight between Macbeth and Macduff. So Macbeth is walking across the stage and he says, "Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? The gashes do better upon them." And then Macduff comes in and he says, "Turn, hellhound, turn." So he's got like his sword up. And Macbeth turns around, and then Macbeth, this is crazy. He says in line 5, he says, "Oh, my soul's too much charged with blood of thine already." You know what he's talking about there? He's basically saying, look, I already killed your whole family. I don't need to kill you too. Seriously? He says that to him. And then Macduff says, "I have no words. My voice is in my sword. You're bloodier villain than terms can give thee out." They fight. And then just like in any great sword fight, they stop and pause and talk some more. And then Macbeth says, "You know what? I'm not scared of you because no man born of a woman can harm me." So he's referencing the apparition. But Macduff turns around, and you guys all made really good predictions about how this apparition could come true. But Macduff turns around and he says, "Well, let me tell you that I was born from a C-section." So I know that's kind of tricky because, you know, in today's day and age, probably I think half of births are C-sections. But back then, a woman, you have to think about when this took place, and a woman being cut open to give birth was not considered, first of all, a natural birth, obviously, but then also things wouldn't really look good for the mother. So there's different interpretations of this. Some people say that he just means he was born a C-section, so he wasn't naturally born of a woman, and that's how he is going to be the person that makes his apparition come true. And then others, and I kind of tend to lean this way, think that his mother died while being cut open to give birth to Macduff. Hence, he wasn't born from a woman, he was born from a corpse, which was really sad and awful. But that's how they get around this little apparition, and that's how that's going to come true. So Macduff's like, "Well, actually, I was born a C-section." And Macbeth's like, maybe in line 20 to 23, he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't fight with you then." So, because now I'm a little nervous. Macduff calls him a coward. And then Macbeth says that we are not going to... I'm not going to give in to you. I'm not going to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be baited. So they leave the stage fighting. Then the curtain would shut. Curtain would open again. Now we have Malcolm, who, remember, is Duncan's firstborn. And they're talking about the war. They're talking about their losses. And they're talking about Macbeth. And basically updating. And then if you skip to line 54, Macduff walks in holding Macbeth's head like this. I will use John Cena. So what did he do to him? He's holding his head up. He beheaded him. So Macduff is the one that actually kills Macbeth, which is what we thought was going to happen, right? Not only did the apparition say that to beware Macduff, but it also, he killed his whole family. Macbeth, Lucas is looking at me like, "Why are you holding up my John Cena?" Macduff's whole family was killed at Macbeth's hand. So it makes sense. All right, hold on, you can come take it. So it makes sense that Macduff is the one to kill him. And then who is named king? Malcolm, and it's his rightful throne. So, thank you, Lucas. Thank you. Go ahead, give mommy one more minute. And then they all say, "Hail, King of Scotland." And then the end is Malcolm around line 60. Malcolm says, "Will not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you, my thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named." So basically he's saying that he doesn't want unchecked power. He wants to have a cabinet of men around him who are going to be his earls and are going to help him to make decisions. So while obviously this is still not a democracy, we get the impression that Malcolm is going to be a fair and good king, and it's his rightful throne because it was his father's throne. So at the end of Macbeth, Macbeth is killed by Macduff, which should have happened. Malcolm is named king, which should have happened. We get the impression that he is going to be a fair king, should have happened. There are still some questions that we don't have answered. Like, where's Fleance? Fleance running in the woods somewhere after his father was killed, and this little kid, we have no idea where he is. He doesn't come back. So the whole prediction of Banquo's kid being king, that doesn't happen at this point. And then the third murder, we never find out who the third murderer was. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is we are going to think about the ending to this. And in your flip grid today, you're going to answer the question and relate it to something else in our modern world. Like, what does Macbeth make you think of? Someone who's power hungry, right? How many times have we seen that in movies or literature or TV shows? Someone who abuses their power. That's seen a lot. The theme of not being true to yourself and not being who you are and putting on a mask for everybody, the theme of appearances. That's something that we see often. So in your flip grid today, I'm going to ask you to relate Macbeth to something else. What else in our modern times is similar in theme or in character or in conflict also? So we finished Macbeth remotely. This is quite an accomplishment. While I wish we could have been in class doing it, I'm proud of you guys for getting through it. And like I said, for your final project, we're going to do more of a creative, fun, hopefully fun for while we're stuck inside project. And it's not going to be a test, and it's not going to be an essay. So, awesome job. Macbeth, all done. Proud of you. Miss you. Bye.